My name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of all things that you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business. I am live today on both YouTube and TikTok, and we are doing some fun things. On my social media, we do different things throughout the week. We have 2 chats, which we will have one tonight at 8 p.m. and I will be live on both YouTube and TikTok for that chat. We do bead sales, and when I mean a bead sale, it's all the things to make jewelry, the findings, any type of a component, the beads, chain, any of that type of stuff. We have those up for sale. We did bead sale not last night, the night before on Tuesday night. We'll have one again on Friday night. Friday will be at 7 p.m. Central. And the other thing that we do twice a week is we do tutorials on different things. This week we did a pair of earrings earlier in the week, and today we are going to be doing a necklace. And here is the necklace that we're going to be doing today. This one is called Charm and Grace. We're going to create these little bead dangled charms to put on a chain and just add a little bit of elegance to our jewelry. It's a very simple, easy necklace to make once you understand the dynamics of the charm or the dangle that we're creating for those charms. All right, I am going to bring up my backup account here on TikTok so I can read comments when I'm pointing down so you guys can see what I'm working on. And I only have a backup account of TikTok. I do not have a backup account of YouTube. So when I'm pointed down on YouTube, I will not be able to see the comments, just to let you all know. All right, let's see if yep, it tells me I am live. All right. So a little bit of I forgot to say something. Hey, we already got our shares. So thank you everybody for sharing already. We already got our 10 shares. If we can get to 10,000 likes, we'll be doing bead soup giveaway today. By doing that right away when we come in, it helps increase our engagement of the For You page and just helps us out to grow our community. And I appreciate us growing because I want to share what we all do with everybody. So what you're going to need to make this necklace. Hi, Sally Ann. Thank you for the heart me. You will need for supplies a necklace. I have today a stainless steel 23 to 24 inch necklace. I don't remember the exact length. Hi, Rainbow. And so I'm just going to put this together here. So we're going to use this style of chain today. Just a chain necklace with a lobster clasp. And then I need 3 beads. You can do them as different colors. You can do them as the same color. This one here and the kits I created are all the same color. I grabbed the same color, and as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I might switch it up and do it with different colors than just that orangey color that we have. I am going to change up that one. I'm going to change them up and show you here. I'm thinking fall vibes. Let me see. Yes, maybe. Ooh, maybe that one. There we go. I've got fall vibes now. I'm going to do it with 3 different colors. Hold on. Sorry, I got a phone call. I'm changing it up. We've got, if you guys can see them, we're going to have a 10 millimeter, like a dark orange, 8 millimeter yellow, 6 millimeter green. These are all glass pearls. You do not have to use glass pearls for it. To me, glass pearls just offer an elegance. Oh no, that's not good, Miss Joya. So in the also for fall and winter, for the fall 2025 and winter 2026, of all things, the glass pearls are popular. Pearls are really popular. Excuse me, but putting them in the glass pearl is a way to get that pearl look but it gives it for not as high of a cost as a pearl would. So this is what the 3 beads we're going to use. I know in our example here, it's all one color, but you can do it in different colors if you want to. You can do it with different beads. I always say when I'm doing the examples here, do it in, make it for you, you know, what you would do, your style. What kind of beads do you use? You could use natural beads. You can use acrylic beads. You can use whatever kind of beads. Just make sure that you're getting it in for the color scheme of the season that we're in. I know. It's been a hard week, Miss Joya. We've got Theo from the Cosby Show and Ozzy. It's like when I saw Theo, I was like, no, because I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up with that. So besides those 3 beads and the necklace, you're going to need 3 head pins. And these, I'm using just the flat head pins. You could use a ball head pin if you want. Also, you are going to need a jump ring, any size jump ring you want. And I forgot to grab one thing in here. So let me grab it. And this, for the kits and that, I use something from my own bead collection. And most of the kits, the glass pearls, are from my own collection. So the antique white, which is what we used here, those will be up for sale tomorrow night. I forgot to grab, whoops, that's the wrong thing. Grab the wrong thing. Hold on. Time out. I gotta grab the right thing. It was the next container next door. We are going to use 2 bead caps. So we're going to have 2 bead caps. So 2 bead caps, 3 beads, one's a 10, one's an 8, and one's a 6. All right. MC Hippie gave us a laugh today as a joke. And it was, I was going to tell you a joke about pizza, but you wouldn't like it. It's too cheesy. Thank you. So, yep, I'm going to use a bead cap. I don't normally use bead caps, but for this one, if you look at it from right here, you will see, I'm going to bring this up close so you guys can all see. I did use a smaller bead cap there just to give it a little bit of on the top and on the bottom. So, yep. So we're going to use bead caps today. For tools for this project, flush cutters. And this is what your flush cutters will look like. I'll bring those up close. We're going to use 2 of either what you call the chain nose or flat nose pliers. I got 2 here. I'm going back and forth between the 2 devices here. Hi, Deborah. And then we also are going to be using a round nose plier. The one thing with a round nose plier is that I always put a little line of where I want my circles to be made at, so that between my 3 dangles for this necklace, my loops for those dangles are all the same size. And so I take just a regular Sharpie, and this one is an extra fine point. I also have a Sharpie that is a fine point. I want the fine point one. There we go. We have a Sharpie fine point. Just go ahead, and if you notice on here, I have a line kind of down at the end already. That's what I used for my example, and that's where I'm going to put that line at. I just use my marker and put a line so that I can see it a little bit better. And I want it to be on this end. There we go. So that's how I make, and when I go to use these, that I can create my loops consistently. If you wanted to use the one-step looper, which will create that loop for you, you can do that if you have a hard time doing it with the way I do it. I totally understand. And you have to make jewelry that is easy for you to be able to make so you don't give up on it. What I will say about making these loops in the beginning here is it takes time to get this technique down. Give yourself grace while you're learning. And it won't be beautiful on the first couple, and that's fine. But keep trying and be repetitive. When you're learning this, when I was teaching this class in person at a bead store, we would make 5 pairs of earrings, and that's giving you the chance to do it 10 times. My laser? I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Joya. Are you talking about my eyesight? So that's what I'll say is practice this 10 times, and that repetitive will help you. You will see a difference between your first one and your 10th one. I got my glasses. I got glasses for when I'm doing it. I can see perfectly fine when I don't have to wear my glasses for distance and reading. It's when I'm making jewelry that I need the glasses for. So yep, I got my glasses and they're helping out a ton. So when you guys go down and we're working on it, I'll put the glasses on. Thank you so much, Rose, for all the gifts. I appreciate that. Oh, we got it. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and change it because I'm thinking of it. If I don't do it while I think of it, I will forget. The reason why we do these goals is it's part of the entire TikTok algorithm so that we can get out to the For You page and such. There we go. We'll do puff hearts next. And just to be able to make sure our community is growing. You make looms? That is cool, Slade. Slayed my heart out. Slayed my heart out. Okay. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Nope. We're all okay, Miss Joya. Now, I'm going to point you down and we're going to go through this step by step. One thing that I will tell you guys is that normally in the past when we did this, I would do like I would do 2 or 3 examples in the hour that we're together. I would rather, after talking with Val and they were watching my videos, they're like, slow down. So we are going to slow down. We're going to explain each step a little bit more detail and probably only get one example done in the time that we're together. Just to let you know. Thank you for the subscription. And that reminds me, this is the one thing that Val also said. I always forget to say, if you like what you're seeing and you are on TikTok, go ahead and do the follow at the top and follow. And then if you turn notifications on, then you can know when I'm going to go live. But I also post it on a video out on TikTok that is pinned. My times change each week. Also, for those of you that are on YouTube, if you're liking it, go ahead and subscribe to me. I also do put my when I go live out on YouTube, and it is underneath the shorts video. You will find one each week because I change up the times each week of when I go live. All right, we're going to point you down and we're going to go through this example where we're going to do it. I do selling of the beads and such on lives on TikTok, and my jewelry is for sale at CarolJo's.com, and that is CarolJo's.com. And that's where you can buy jewelry from me at. Thanks for asking. All right, you guys should be seeing my bead mat. So as you see, I have my necklace off to the side here. I have the 3 beads that we're going to make into the dangle charms, my head pins, my bead caps, and the, oh Lord, jump ring. The name went out of my head. All right, so I'm going to take my 3 head pins. I am going to put my 6mm size bead on one. I'm going to put the 10mm size bead on a second one. The third one, I'm going to take my bead cap, the bead, and then the other bead cap. And that is the 3 dangles that we're going to make. Okay. I am going to start with the 8mm first. Hi, Mia. We are going to use our round nose pliers to make the loop. What you do is you see where my line is at that we made, that black line that I talked about in the beginning. You're going to line the head pin up with that black line like that. But also you're going to put your round nose pliers right on top of your glass pearl bead here. Don't do it up here like that. You're going to be right down right there. You're going to take your finger and press that top part of your head pin away from you, 90 degrees. So if I go and look at that, do you see how we've got a 90 degrees here? We got this little part and then it comes out. So that's our first part of every loop. Take your round nose plier and go 45 degrees within that. So do you see how it isn't lined up anymore straight there? We're going to move that up. Here we go over here on YouTube. We are now 45 degrees in that angle. We used to be here. Now we're going to go up here. So we're 45 degrees. I got to put my glasses on. I forgot to put those on. All right. There we go. Now we're going to take our finger and we're going to bring this long piece all the way over around the top. So I went from like on your side all the way to my side. And if you look, my piece of wire is almost up to my beads and I don't have any room in here to make it a full circle. To get it to the full circle, lift it up and move that bottom part because it was down here before. Move it to the top so that it is on the top. This round piece is on the top. That opens up the room and we can take that wire and push it all the way around. He is not a very good one here. Hold on. I'm looking at him and he's a little bit crooked. There we go. We got him standing up straight. There we go. You can adjust your wire to get that round circle. That's what we want. Now, we're going to open up our circle. To do that, you just take your pliers, and you can use the flat nose pliers or you can use the round nose pliers. Either one works. Open that up by lifting this part up. And by open, do you see how we've got a little bit of room? Let me get it so you can see. There is a little bit of room in between the two pieces of wire. We are going to pick up our chain and put that chain in that hole like so. I actually prefer to use my round nose pliers at this point because they are a smaller work area than my flat nose. Because if you look at the two, you'll see that one's bigger than the other. I like the smaller one because I don't have as much room. So then I put this and I bring this back down. And it will go down when you take your pliers and push it there. It'll push it down. If you send on my website, there, I'm just looking down and I saw your question. On my website, there's a contact us down at the bottom. Go ahead and send me an email and we can talk about it. All right, so now we're going to take our flat nose pliers, grab a hold of the end. We're going to wrap that around and we still have room. See how I wrapped that around once and we still have room there? We're going to keep going until we are there down at the bottom. You're going to take that wire and you're going to wrap it around another time and you're going to stack those 2 times around. Let me see if you guys can see that. There we go. You're going to stack those 2 times around. Don't put them on top of each other, but put them below, go right below it. And that will get you that roundness. We're going to take our flat nose or our flush cutters, put it flat up against there so that you can get in as close as possible. And then cut that off. I usually feel to see if it's a pokey. If it's pokey, you can take your flat nose pliers and just push it down. And there you go. Thank you, Mia. So that is the first of the 3 dangles. Now we're going to do it with our second one. The second one we're going to do is the 10 millimeter size bead. So for this one, we're going to grab our round nose pliers again. You see where we got our mark. We are going to line up the head pin to our mark. And it's going to be all the way touching our bead or the bead caps here. not a space in between, but right up to each other. Take your finger and push this away from you, away from me, I should say. It goes towards you because of the way we're doing this, so that we get that 90-degree circle. Now, what happened on that last one, and I said it wasn't a little straight. I'm going to bring this up close. Do you guys see how we don't have a really crisp? He's a little bit too much on the top. He's not quite 90 degrees. And that made it so that our circle wasn't the best. So I'm going to go back in here, position my tool again, and I'm going to press down a little bit there so that I do get that 90 degree there. And there, it's a lot better. Even just being a little bit off will affect your circle from being a complete circle. And then we're going to take our tool and put it 45 degrees inside of that 90-degree angle that we just created. The reason why you're putting this one in at 45 degrees is that if we didn't do that and just left it flat at like before, is that it's going to go straight up on one side and you're going to have the curve on the other side. The other night when we were talking about this on one of my lives, someone said you're making a D instead of an O if you don't position this in that 45-degree angle. And that was the perfect description of it. So here we go. We were in that 45. We're going to take our finger and bring this around the top as far as you can go until that bead hits, or the tail of this hits that bead. And you see how this is down here, this outside one? We're going to reposition that so he's on top. So he went from the bottom to the top, this one right here. And then we're going to finish that out. This one I am not putting directly onto the chain, so I can just use my pliers to hold that loop and then wrap it around. And we're going to wrap that around. There's once. We still have a little bit of space. So we're going to go around again as much as we can until we hit that bead. So we got about 1.5 on that one. And then we're going to cut off our end. Feel that and make sure it's not a pokey. If it's not poking, if it's poking, just go in and put it down. Now, the reason why we are not going to need to put this one on the chain right away is for the 10mm size one, or the middle bead, we are going to use a jump ring. We're going to open it up and we're going to use the jump ring to attach our dangle to it. There's a reason why we're doing that with this middle piece. You find where the split is at in your jump ring. You can feel it with your fingers. Sometimes you can see it. I take 2 of my flat nose or chain nose pliers, put it on each side of that split. One side of your pliers is going to come towards you and one is going to go away from you. So they're going to go the opposite way. Hold it. Where did my, why did that not want to open? Hold on. Let me try open. There we go. Huh. I just didn't open him right. Do you see how we got that open? That's what you want to do. Do not take your split rings and go this way to open them, because then that's going to distort your circle that you have for your jump ring. So do it with one towards you and one away. We are going to put our bead dangle on our jump ring, and then we're going to put that jump ring on our chain. We're going to close the jump ring now. Go the opposite way that we just did. So come back towards you with one side and away with the other, and get those in there close. Now that I have glasses, I can see it is closed. Before I couldn't, and I had to feel it. And then that is what we have so far. We have our 8mm and our 10mm on there. Once I get the 6mm on there, I'm going to explain why I am using the jump ring, okay? But you can't, I couldn't see it until I put all 3 beads on it, so that's why I'm going to hold off on explaining it. Now, we're going to grab our round nose pliers again and our last bead dangle that has a 6mm size bead on it. Where our line is at, line that up, right up against that bead. push this one away 90 degrees. There we go. So you see we got a good 90 degrees here. Put 45-degree angle for your pliers inside that 90 degrees. Bring this around the top and down till you touch the bead. And like I said, here is our outside piece of that tool. Bring them to the top. And then complete our circle. So our loop circle is like that. We're going to put this one directly on the chain. So I need to open that up. Once again, just use your pliers and open that up so that you have a spot that's open there. And then we're going to add that to the chain. Use the pliers to shut that loop up. There we go. Okay. Grab your flat nose pliers and at the end here, hold on to it and start wrapping it around. I've got one wrap and then we got almost the second one completed. See, we've got our wires where they're right on top of each other. Now we're going to cut this off. There we go. And now we have a completed necklace. That's it to making it. Now I'm going to explain why I wanted to use a jump ring in there. So do you see how they all hang at different levels? If I were to not put a jump ring on this one, that orange one would be sitting more in between these two instead of below it. You're just adding a little bit of length to that dangle, though it comes down, so that it can have room to be there. I'm going to show you what it looks like without, no, I can't because I already got this there. I can't show you because I'd have to cut it off. But that is why we do it. It is so that it can be down a little bit lower. I'm going to point you guys back up. Hello. There we go. See, I have my glasses on. This is what the glass, but now it's hard for me to read. You guys are going to laugh. It's harder for me to read comments when I have the glasses on. They are really meant for just making jewelry and at that level. All right, let me get that on the neck. I'm just trying to move it over just a little bit so it's in the middle. There we go. There you are. That is this necklace. This one is made using the 3 different color beads in the fall colors. And that is so easy. Thank you, Mia. It is so easy to make that necklace. So we have it, and all the kits that I have for tomorrow night's live, they're going to be all the 3 same color of beads in each kit. We have 5 different colors. I went back after the live to double check it yesterday, and we have 5 colors that we'll have up for sale. But see, this is when you're using it with one color only. And then this one is with 3 different colors. So I'm going to put them side by side so you guys can see the difference. Yep, you can add a charm if you want. You could take off one of these 2, or you could put the charm there and just add something different. And that's what I mean by make it your own when we talk about that. And what I mean is that find things that you like. That one looks like Christmas. Okay, it's not though, it's orange. This is really, it doesn't come across as orange on the camera as it is in person. It's a harvest orange, or that dark orange, and then yellow and dark green. But I can see when it's on there, it does look like Christmas. I got you, Rainbow. But the thing is that when I'm teaching, I want to teach you guys ideas and thoughts so that you're able to make it your own. You could change out and not use the glass pearl beads. You could use natural beads. So like, you know how I have that Riverstone necklace? You can make that in a river stone with the 3 different sizes of the river stone beads. And you can make it that way. Or if you had them. I can't get them, so I can't sell them to you. But you could do something with something like that. You could add in and do a charm and then 2 of the natural or 2 of the glass beads in with it. And change it out and do different things. And that's why when I say this, I'm teaching you the concept of how to do this or how to think about it and spark that creativity so that you can make it differently. And now that we talked about those river stones, I got to see everybody because I have to figure this out because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't try. We have about 30 minutes, so let me see. I got to see if I have all 3 sizes though. That's the thing. Not all the colors of the river stone do I have all 3 sizes. That's not there in that tray. All right, let's see. Ha-ha! I do have it in purple in all 3 sizes, everybody. Ha-ha! See, this is all I have left of my river stone in 10. 8, I hardly have any. And the 6. And I can't get this anymore. So for me to use these beads is like, woo! Okay, we're gonna do one more. I have one more chain. I just gotta get all the stuff set up here, okay? I might not take as much time to describe this one as we go through it, but we'll make one more, okay? And let me put away my trays here so they're not sitting on my table for days on end. I'm trying to really hard pick up after myself. There it is. And you go right there. There we go. All right. I might keep this one because it's my river stone. All right, I do have the necklace here, so I'm getting that out. I'm like, I love the Riverstone beads. I really, really honestly wish I could still get them for you guys. There. All right. I need 3 of the head pins, and I have the bag of head pins sitting next to me. It's got those 3. We need 2 of the bead caps, and I need 1 of the jump rings. Okay, I think I got everything. We're gonna put the glasses on. I'm gonna point you guys down again, okay? So hold on. Alrighty. We are going to put 6mm on, 8mm on. Sometimes you'll have a little bit of a bend in your head pin. You can just take your flat nose or chain nose, straighten it out, and see if your bead will go on then. There's the hole. There we go. We're going to do our bead cap, 10mm bead cap. That's our dangles. We're going to start with the 8mm again. Line that up with our line 90 degrees away. Reposition 45 degrees inside of there. Bring this around the top. There we go. Reposition the tool to make the complete. Hi, Rosie. Open that up and put it on our chain. There we go. We got it in there. Close this up. And now we're going to bring this around. Grab the end of your wire. There we go. And wrap it around. And wrap it below the last one and get that so you hit the bead. And then cut off the end. And that is our 8mm size bead on there. Okay. I just knocked over my examples. I caught them before they went to the ground, but they about fell off of the neck there. And they wrapped each other around them. Well, okay, you two. They're commingled now. If you guys would have seen that, now I got them separated. Whew. Yay. Okay, sorry. Squirreling. We're going to take our 10 millimeter, bring it right, your round nose right to the bottom of it on our line. Do 90 degrees away from you. Reposition your pliers to be 45 degrees within that 90-degree angle and bring that over the top. Go down until you hit the bead. Move this to the top and get that circle. This one does not go on the chain yet, so we'll just hold on to it and we're going to wrap our end around that until we hit the bead, which we just did. Cut that off. Grab our jump ring here. And this one looks to be about a 6 millimeter jump ring. You can use whatever size you want. If you want it to be down a little bit, use a bigger jump ring. If you want it closer up, use a smaller one. The size of the jump ring isn't as important as getting it so it's not nestled in the midst of it. Take one plier and come towards you and one away to open up that jump ring. Put our dangle that we just made on, and then put that on our chain. Close up your jump ring by going the opposite way of how you opened it. And there we have 2 of the dangles on. Now we're going to create that third one. This one is in hyper speed compared to the last example. I'm sorry. Put your bead right, your pliers right on top of that bead. Line it up with your black line, 90 degrees away from you. Reposition that in there 45 degrees, making sure it's lined up, and then bring this around the top. Once you get to where you can't move it, move that plier to the so that one part is on the top, and then create your circle. Thank you, Patty. Open up that circle loop that we just created and put it on the other side of the 10 millimeter size bead. So there's an 8 on one side and the 6 on the other. Close it up. Whoops. I might have to have this plier to close it. There we go. There we go. There. All right. My chain was getting in the way of me closing it, and that was having a problem. So now we're going to wrap this around and again, and then cut this off. The one thing that I haven't done yet is I did not feel on all 3 of them to make sure that we don't have any sharp pokies. There we go. Go down. He went up. Now he doesn't want to go down. Nope. No pokies on this one. Woohoo! And then I'm going to bring it up so you guys can see the finished look here. This is it. Let me see if it's not laying right. It's like got a kink in it, in the chain. Let me get the chain situated. There we go. Now we got the kink out. There we go. There it is. That is now, instead of using the glass pearls, it's the same necklace, but this time we are using those river stone beads that everybody loves. He wants to just stay in that one spot and not move to where he should be. There we go. And it'll move around when you wear it. See, it just wants to move for me. We'll get it right. There we go. There we go. And it's because what we did is that the loops that we created were big enough that it will move on the chain, because you want it to have some movement. You don't want those so tight, like down really close to the end here, to make those that it doesn't allow it to have movement. So when I make my line, I want it to be as small as possible for the loop that will allow it to move on the chain. So I hope that helps. You can move your line and it can be anywhere that you want it to be on there. And it's up to you to decide how big you want that loop. But by doing it like this way, it will move a little bit. I created, I'm trying to see if I can get it to do it, a dangle loop with a head pin. And then the jump ring that I have for the one here, Sandy, is just a circle. This one is about a 6mm circle one. And you can do those in any, you can even mix up your metals in here and make your chain one color, and your dangles could be different. Like you could do this one is stainless steel, and then you could do hematite for your dangles if you wanted, or you can do gold. You can do whatever colors that you want to do for the metal. Right now, for the summer, you know, the silver is a big metal that we're using right now, but in the winter, it's going to be all the metals. There isn't, like, gold is going to be the predominant one for the fall and winter, but you're able to use them all, and you can mix them together with whatever you're working on. One of the future examples that I have will be mixing the different metals. I have the supplies coming to be able to do that example, and so I can't show it to you yet. But in a few weeks, when we get those, I will be able to show you. And I did get an order in today. So that means for our chat time tonight, if you guys want, let me know in the chat if you want me to bring that order and we can open it up together. I know I do have a few of the bags, those plastic bags in this order too, but we have other things in there. Meg's like, yes, loudly. I can bring that, and we can open it up on the live, and we can do it during chat time tonight. So, and right now, I have, all right, yep, we'll do that. I have gold jump rings coming too, because I do not have gold that I could find. I might have some downstairs that I might grab, and if I do have them, I'll bring them to tomorrow. If not, I'm going to order more gold jump rings. And I also want to get like antique bronze. I would like to get the guns metal. I know I say hematite. When I talk about hematite for metal, I really mean the gun metal and not hematite. I just always use that word accidentally in error. So we could do that. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing how to make a very simple necklace that I named it Charm and Grace. And you can make it with whatever ones. Woohoo! I was going to say, I will have my silicone beads tomorrow, which won't be silicone beads, everybody. I just call them my silicone bead sale days because it is the time of when you would do for silicone items, meaning, you know, for the wristlets or for the cup charms or the car charms. If you can't make car charms in your area, you can make them as bag charms. What am I trying to say? Keychains, that type of stuff, the stuff for that. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock noon, which will be Central Time noon, we will be doing all different kinds of acrylic beads. We have 12mm, 16mm, 20mm. We have a cloud-shaped bead. And then I did find some pink cup charm wires. And I also found pink swivels. And I don't know how many of the pink swivels there are or how we're going to do that, but we've got those that I can bring tomorrow too. And so that is what we'll have, probably between 10 and 15 items. It's going to be a smaller item count, but one of the items is going to be the mixed beads that we, when we've had the acrylics and we've made the bags. We're going to have one of those tomorrow with pink beads. And the pink one is going to be various sizes and shapes. So let me show you that one. Since we have a few minutes, I will show you that one quick because I'm excited. I do not have a lot of it, everybody. It's very limited quantity. We'll probably be able to get about 10 scoops out of it. So when I said we're limited, this is all there is in the bag. It's not even a full quart size bag. And the other ones we've done have been gallon size bags. But we have, in the center here is the hole for an acrylic bow. We have that in a pink. We also will have the acrylic pink bead like this. Yep, well, that's why I'm showing you, so we can get there. We have a bubblegum pink. We have a clear rainbow pink or transparent rainbow pink. There is that iridescent with the pink in it. And there is one more bead. Let me find it. Iridescent heart in that mix. So you'll be getting a bag of beads that looks like this. It's not going to be exactly like this, but this is what it is. So we'll have that. That's going to be the first item tomorrow on our silicone sale at 12 o'clock. So I'm excited about that. But like I said, we don't have very much of it. That'll be tomorrow at noon, and we got to 10K. That means everybody can guess a color here. Whoops, nope, yep, okay, we got it. Yep, all right, go ahead and in the chat, guess colors. It can, both YouTube and TikTok can do this. The color is a 2-word color, everybody. 2 words for this color. You guys are giving me some good thoughts for the next time. All right, 2 people have guessed it. Let me see who those 2 are. The first one was Vicky, and then Rainbow. So Vicky, you are the winner of our bead soup giveaway, and you will be getting this one here. We have some gemstones. We have the glass pearls. We have a mother of pearls, what I call them, or freshwater pearl bead or freshwater shell. Glass, all kinds there. Ooh, you even got a polymer clay one. Let me show you over here on YouTube. This is the bead soup. We make little bead soup packets while we're on the live. You're welcome. Congratulations. And I do giveaways when we hit our goals for engagement. So that was, I was waiting for us to get there. That's why I was like, okay, I'll show you guys beads. Because I wanted you guys to get the giveaway. I will be back at 8 p.m. tonight, and that's Central Time. And that one, I'll bring up those boxes. I have 2 boxes of beads that I received. So I'll bring those up here, and we'll take a gander at what's in them. I think there also might be some of the bookmarks that we have. I think is in there. I'm like, I don't remember what's all in there, but we will look at those. Oh, yep. It has to be the way TikTok does it with that game is that you have to enter it the way that I typed it. So if I type it wrong, you're not going to get it right. And I thought I had typed hit pink instead of hot pink, but it changed it to hot pink for me. So I didn't have to go back in and pick a different color. I was lucky. All right, everybody. So I'll be back tonight. We'll do chat time, which chat time, if you're new with me, is the time that you're able to ask all different types of questions about jewelry making, about running small businesses and that type of thing. But we will also just look at those new beads and then talk. It's a time for us to just talk and just have a great community time. Then tomorrow at 12 o'clock, we will be doing the acrylic beads that I was talking about earlier, where I called it a silicone sale, but it's going to be mostly acrylic beads that you would use when you're using the silicone beads. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we will have our normal bead sale. We will have the kits, well, 5 different color of kits of this necklace that we just created. There are 5 necklaces for each color. So there's a total of 25 kits, 5 in each color, 5 colors. I will also have the antique white glass pearls available in 6, 8, and 10. And then we'll have a lot of other things because I haven't grabbed them all yet. So those are things that I know for sure. And then I'll tell you more tonight and tomorrow of what we got going on for it. So I hope you all have a good rest of your afternoon, and we will see you tonight. Bye, everyone.